My child, listen carefully, because what I am about to tell you began only moments ago, so recent, so fresh, so shockingly intentional, that even the unseen realm felt the tremor of it. Yes, just 15 minutes ago, something dark was set into motion concerning your life. And though the world continues to breathe as if nothing changed, the heavens know exactly what shifted. There was a meeting, quiet, secretive, hidden from every natural eye, but not hidden from mine. A decision was signed in the shadows, and the moment their agreement settled, the air around you thickened with a tension you couldn't quite identify. That heaviness you felt? That sudden uneasiness? That was the echo of their plan traveling through the atmosphere. My child, this wasn't a careless talk or a moment of frustrated words thrown into the wind. No. This was structured. Calculated. The kind of planning that requires darkness to feel safe. Two individuals, only two, came together with one intention: to harm you without ever being seen holding the weapon. They believed the silence around them would shield their motives. They believed the walls around them would safeguard their whispers. They believed the secrecy of their agreement would secure the success of their plot. But they forget one thing: I am the God who witnesses every word spoken in shadow before it ever reaches the light. And now I am revealing it to you. My child, behind those closed doors sat a woman and a man. Not random people. Not strangers. Two individuals bound by jealousy, fear, and insecurity. The woman, she is the one who birthed this scheme. She is the one whose heart cracked open with bitterness the moment she saw you rise, the moment she sensed favor moving in your direction, the moment she realized your destiny carried more weight than her own intentions ever could. She couldn't accept it. She couldn't stand it. She couldn't tolerate the thought that you were stepping into something she never had the strength or purity to reach. So she made a choice. Instead of healing, she plotted. Instead of humbling herself, she hid behind manipulation. Instead of confronting her own brokenness, she put your name on her lips in a way she never should have. But she wasn't alone, my child. Across from her sat a man, someone whose heart is easily bent by influence, someone who has a history of being guided by darker persuasion. She knew exactly who to choose. Not because he is strong, but because he is easily steered. Easily convinced. Easily used. He doesn't carry a physical weapon, he carries a spiritual one. His tongue, his thoughts, his intentions, they strike like arrows in the spirit. 15 minutes ago, she gave him the plan. 15 minutes ago, he agreed. 15 minutes ago, a deal was sealed over your life that no human ear was meant to hear. But you are hearing it now because I refuse to let you walk blind into a battlefield I have already seen. They thought this plan would remain buried. They thought this moment of darkness would stay undiscovered. But as they leaned in, as the woman whispered every detail, as the man nodded, as agreement formed between them, the heavens felt the vibration of their words. Angels paused. Darkness stirred. And I stepped in. Because my child, you do not belong to the shadows. You are mine. But I know what your heart must be asking: what did they decide? Why were you their target? Why now? And what do they gain from trying to wound you? To answer that, you must understand something deeper, something far beyond the natural, something rooted in the spiritual foundation of who you are. The reason you are being targeted is not because of your past. Not because of your mistakes. Not even because of your present decisions. You are being targeted because of your future. There is something inside you, a calling, a legacy, a divine imprint written in the very fabric of your being. It is something the woman sensed but never understood. It is something the man was told to attack without even knowing why. And it is something darkness has been watching for longer than you've realized. There is a mantle on your life that threatens generational chains. There is purpose in you that frightens the forces working against your family. There is spiritual authority growing in you that intimidates those who depend on confusion and chaos to survive. Your destiny carries too much power to be ignored by the enemy. This is why the plot was formed. This is why it had urgency. This is why it happened 15 minutes ago. They saw movement in the spirit around you, and they reacted. But here is what they do not know: I have already stepped between you and their intention. Before their plan could take on life, before their toxic words could travel, before their curses could be launched, before their agreement could take root in the earth, I intercepted it. The woman planned the destruction. The man agreed to execute it. But I, the Lord your God, dismantled it before it ever had the chance to reach you. And my child, this story is far from over. What they plotted in darkness is about to be exposed in a way they never expected. What they spoke in secret is about to fall back on them. What they aimed at you is about to return to the sender. Their attack will become their own unraveling. But you need to understand one more thing before we go deeper: their plan was not against your present, it was against your future. My child, now that you know who was behind the agreement made in the last 15 minutes, it is time you understand why the attack against you was crafted with such urgency, such precision, and such secretive force. Because what they discussed in that closed room was not a minor matter. It was not a moment of emotional outburst. It was not a temporary wave of anger or jealousy. No, this was something the enemy pushed them to initiate because the timing of your life has shifted. You may not have realized it yet, but something around you changed recently, quietly, silently, without warning. A door opened. A spiritual gate unlocked. A heavenly schedule adjusted itself. And the moment this shift occurred, darkness noticed. The enemy does not attack randomly, my child. He observes. He calculates. He waits until heaven begins to move, and then he reacts. And 15 minutes ago, when those two sat down, they acted as tools of a bigger agenda, not even understanding the magnitude of what they were doing. But before I reveal the details of their plan, you need to feel the weight of why they did it. My child, you carry something inside you that was never meant to stay small. You carry a calling that has been awakened. You carry a destiny that has begun to vibrate, to stretch, to unlock itself from generations of limitation. The woman, she sensed it long before you did. She sensed an elevation forming around your life. She sensed your spirit rising, your discernment sharpening, your resilience strengthening. It unsettled her. It triggered her deepest insecurities. It reminded her of everything she wished she could be but never became. And so her jealousy fermented into bitterness. Her bitterness hardened into resentment. Her resentment evolved into hatred. And hatred, left unchecked, always leads to action. That action is what birthed the moment that took place 15 minutes ago. But the man, he is a different story. He is not the visionary, not the mastermind. He is the one who carries out what others are too afraid to touch directly. He is familiar with spiritual darkness, not because he understands it, but because he yields to it easily. He has spoken curses over people before. He has tried to sabotage others with words, with thoughts, with hidden envy. But what he agreed to do this time was darker than anything he has participated in before. Because this time, he agreed to aim his spiritual weapon at you. He aimed his words. He aimed his thoughts. He aimed his intentions. He aimed his energy toward you. But listen to me, my child, none of his arrows found their target. Before the first curse traveled, I blocked it. Before the first negative word left his breath, I intercepted it. Before his intention could take shape in the spiritual realm, I dismantled it. He thought he had taken the first shot. He thought he had launched his attack. He thought he had triggered something that would damage your destiny. He is wrong. Because he does not understand that I stand watch over you in a way he has never seen. He does not understand that every time darkness tries to strike you, I shift the ground beneath your feet. He does not understand that every scheme formed in secret collapses before it ever touches your life. And you, my child, you need to understand something too. You were not targeted because you are weak. You were targeted because you are chosen. The attack was not formed because you are vulnerable. The attack was formed because your destiny is rising. My child, the enemy uses people who are spiritually blind to carry out plans they cannot comprehend. And that is exactly what happened 15 minutes ago. The woman acted out of jealousy, but deeper than that, darkness nudged her spirit. The man acted out of weakness, but deeper than that, the enemy manipulated his brokenness. They saw only the natural picture. The enemy saw the spiritual picture. But I see the eternal picture. And here is where the truth becomes even more serious, my child. The plan they created was designed to hit you on multiple levels, not just emotionally, not just mentally, but spiritually and generationally. Their agreement wasn't formed to hurt your present. It was formed to interrupt your future. The woman wanted your momentum crushed. She wanted your influence dimmed. She wanted your name tarnished. She wanted people to turn against you. She wanted your confidence shaken, your clarity blurred, your peace disturbed. She wanted to break what she believed was forming in your life. But what she doesn't know is this: you are stepping into a timeline I designed long before she ever existed. She cannot stop what I ordained. She cannot delay what I scheduled. She cannot destroy what I planted. And the man, he believed he had the authority to damage your spirit. He believed he could release words that would impact your destiny. But what he didn't understand is that your spirit is covered. Your name is protected. Your path is sealed in my hand. No word formed against you carries weight in my presence. But now, my child, it is time you understand what they planned. Because the enemy is most terrified when you gain awareness. Knowledge weakens his plans. Revelation dismantles his grip. So hear this: their plan was designed to isolate you. They wanted you to feel abandoned. They wanted you to be misunderstood. They wanted people around you to shift suddenly. They wanted confusion to rise around your relationships. They wanted doors to close unexpectedly. They wanted opportunities to slip from your hands. They wanted heaviness to sit on your chest without explanation. This was strategic. Because the enemy knows, if he can isolate you, he can distract you. And if he can distract you, he can delay you. But he failed. Because even though you felt pressure recently, even though your heart sensed something strange, even though the atmosphere around you felt heavier, your spirit stayed connected to mine. Your sensitivity protected you. Your frustration exposed the attack. Your sudden discomfort was a warning. What you felt was not weakness, it was discernment. Even when you didn't know the details, your spirit reacted to what was being spoken behind your back. But now, my child, you know the full truth: a dark agreement was made. A plan was set. Your name was spoken in shadows. Your destiny was marked. But the same moment they agreed, I disagreed. And where my voice stands, every other voice falls powerless. But we are not done. Because I need to take you deeper. I need to show you why the heavens shook, why the angels took formation, why the spiritual realm reacted, and what is about to shift over your life because of this plot. My child, now that you understand the origin of this attack, the people behind it, and the darkness that influenced them, it is time for you to see the true weight of what happened in the unseen realm. Because what shook the heavens was not merely the agreement made 15 minutes ago. It was not just the whispering of your name in secret, not just the forming of an evil plan, not just the intentions hidden behind their faked smiles and controlled expressions. No, my child. What shook the heavens was something far deeper, far older, far more connected to your spiritual identity than you realize. It was the timing. You see, the enemy does not panic over people who are stagnant. He does not mobilize forces against people who are stuck. He does not provoke others to strike against those who pose no threat. The enemy trembled because your season shifted. 15 minutes before the deal was made against you, heaven had already begun moving something into place. Something for you. Something connected to your calling. Something that would change the trajectory of your life. And darkness sensed it instantly. What did the heavens sense? A release. A breakthrough. A lifting. A divine appointment. An upcoming elevation. Your name came into alignment with a new spiritual timeline, and the enemy reacted with desperate speed. This is why the woman felt the sudden urge to create this plan. This is why the man agreed without hesitation. This is why the meeting happened exactly when it did. This is why the plan was so sudden, so sharp, so intentional. It wasn't coincidence. It was response. The heavens were shaken because an attack was launched at the exact moment your destiny stepped forward. The angels were stirred because a coordinated strike was attempted at the precise moment heaven had opened a door for you. My presence moved because the enemy was trying to intercept a blessing that had already been dispatched with your name on it. My child, listen carefully now, because this is where things become even more intense. When the woman and the man spoke your name in darkness, something else happened simultaneously. Your name was spoken in heaven. Not in whispers. Not in secrecy. Not in darkness. It was spoken in authority. In purpose. In destiny. In clarity. Your name echoed before my throne, and the moment your name was released, a shift took place around your spirit. You didn't see it in the natural, but your heart felt it. That sudden heaviness. That unexplainable swirl of thoughts. That strange emotional pull. That restlessness. That confusion. That pressure. That is what you felt. You were not imagining anything. What you felt was the collision of two spiritual agendas, the enemy's plan and heaven's plan. And heaven overpowered it. But before you understand how heaven defended you, you need to understand exactly why you were targeted in such a precise moment. My child, what rests inside you is not ordinary. Your anointing is not random. Your calling is not accidental. There is something inside you that carries generational weight. Something that threatens every cycle, curse, and limitation that has tormented your family line. And the enemy has known this longer than you have. He saw the shift. He saw the growth. He saw the spiritual awakening. He saw the angels preparing. He saw your spirit rising, even when you weren't aware of it yourself. He saw the mantle on you beginning to unfold. He saw the protection around you increasing. He saw your sensitivity sharpening. He saw your endurance strengthening. He saw your heart being transformed. My child, what you call struggle, the enemy saw as development. What you call confusion, the enemy saw as transition. What you call pressure, the enemy saw as activation. And when he realized that you were stepping into the fullness of who I designed you to be, he knew he had to strike fast. Because he understood something the woman and the man did not: if he waited any longer, you would become unstoppable. So he influenced two individuals who were spiritually vulnerable. He planted thoughts in their minds. He stirred jealousy, insecurity, and fear in the woman. He weakened the man's discernment. He exploited their brokenness. He didn't need them to understand the plan, he only needed them to agree to it. And when they did, the spiritual realm shook. But my child, listen closely, the heavens did not shake in fear. They shook in defense. They shook in movement. They shook in activation. They shook in response to the threat against you. Because the moment darkness lifted its hand against you, thousands of angels shifted their positions. A wall of fire stood up around you. A shield formed over your spirit. A barrier rose between you and every curse spoken by the man's tongue. Every arrow he tried to release shattered before it reached the atmosphere surrounding your life. And the woman, her intentions became powerless the moment I stepped in. But now I need to show you the part the enemy hoped you would never realize. My child, the attack wasn't aimed at your present. It was aimed at your tomorrow. The enemy wasn't trying to wound your emotions. He was trying to delay your destiny. The woman thought she was creating a plan to stop your progress. But darkness used her brokenness to target the part of you that the enemy fears the most: your future authority, your future influence, your future impact. What he attacked was your purpose, your voice, your anointing, your legacy, your next level. He aimed for the seed you carry, not the fruit you show. Because the fruit can grow back, but the seed carries generations. And you, my child, are carrying a generational shift without even realizing it yet. This is why everything around you felt intense recently. This is why relationships shifted. This is why people changed toward you. This is why doors opened and closed unexpectedly. This is why you felt emotional pressure. This is why strange thoughts passed through your mind. This is why your sleep felt disrupted. This is why your spirit felt unsettled. You weren't under emotional attack, you were under spiritual targeting. Not because you are weak, but because your destiny woke up. But now listen to me with all your heart: their plan did not work. It collapsed the moment they agreed to it. It crumbled the moment they spoke your name. It shattered the moment it was formed. Not because of your strength, but because of my intervention. I stepped between you and every dark intention. I intercepted every spiritual bullet. I silenced every whisper formed against you. I dismantled every agenda built to harm you. I struck down every word the man released. I exposed every motive the woman hid. I cut off every path their plan tried to take. I frustrated their timing. I reversed their assignment. I blocked their access. I canceled their outcome. And now something is shifting in your favor in a far bigger way. Because what they meant for destruction, I am turning into elevation. My child, now that everything has been exposed, the timing, the intention, the darkness behind their whispers, the man and the woman, the curse they tried to send, the trap they tried to build, the spiritual bullet they attempted to fire, it is time for you to hear the conclusion. Because everything you have learned until now was only the beginning. The moment the plan was formed 15 minutes ago was just the spark. The moment the attack was attempted was only one layer. The moment the heavens responded was only the first wave. But now, my child, you are stepping into the part the enemy feared the most: the aftermath. The divine reaction. The reversal. The final verdict. The ending that heaven wrote. You must understand something very important before anything else. there is no attack without a response, and there is no response from heaven that does not produce transformation. My child, darkness touched your name, and heaven reacted. The enemy breathed against your destiny, and the angels stood up. The woman raised her jealousy, and my justice awakened. The man aimed his spiritual bullet, and I positioned myself in front of you like a shield of fire. They spoke your name in wickedness. And I wrote your name in protection. They plotted your downfall, and I prepared your elevation. They tried to dim your path, and I ignited your future with a brightness beyond their understanding. This is the part they never saw coming. Now listen to me, my child, with all the awareness of your spirit. The attack they formed is going to become the reason for your breakthrough. The curse they sent is going to become the fuel for your blessing. The trap they dug is going to become the pit they fall into. This is how I work. This is my justice. This is my order. This is my protection over you. And now, I am about to show you what the enemy hoped you would never see. My child, heaven has already begun rewriting the outcome of everything that was meant to harm you. And the rewriting is not subtle. It is not slow. It is not gentle. It is loud. It is shaking. It is irreversible. It is divine. Let me tell you what is happening around your life right now, even as you read. 1. The woman's intentions are turning against her. Not by your hand. Not by your words. Not by your anger. But by the weight of her own jealousy collapsing on her. The plan she tried to build is becoming the evidence of her downfall. Her own bitterness is exposing her. Her own manipulation is unraveling her. Her own darkness is revealing her true heart to people who once trusted her. What she tried to do in secret is rising to the surface without you lifting a finger. 2. The man's spiritual attack has returned to him. The words he tried to release toward your destiny are landing on the soil of his own future. The intentions he tried to send against your spirit are ricocheting back toward his own environment. The curses he launched in darkness are falling powerless and breaking in the air like dust. No shot fired against you has hit its target. All of them returned empty. All of them returned void. All of them returned defeated. 3. Every closed door around you is reopening. What you thought was rejection was actually protection. What you thought was a blockade was actually a delay designed to shield you. What you thought slipped out of your hands is coming back around stronger, clearer, and divinely timed. The enemy cannot close what I have commanded to open. 4. People who drifted away from you will be replaced. Not by those who envy you. Not by those who drain you. Not by those who pretend to support you. But by people who carry the spirit of loyalty, purpose, and alignment. This time, you will not attract people who want your strength but not your struggle. This time, you will not attract people who take but do not give. This time, you will not attract people who clap when you fall. This time, your circle will match your destiny. 5. Your spirit is being elevated into new clarity. The confusion you felt recently is breaking. The emotional turbulence is settling. The heaviness is leaving. The mental fog is lifting. The invisible weight that sat on your chest is dissolving. It is happening right now, even as you breathe. Your spirit is stepping into a new dimension of discernment, and nothing will catch you off guard again. 6. Your destiny has accelerated. What they tried to sabotage became the reason heaven accelerated your timeline. What they tried to slow down became the reason I sped it up. What they tried to bury became the seed of your next harvest. They tried to delay you, and I advanced you. They tried to silence you, and I amplified you. They tried to weaken you, and I strengthened you. They tried to break you, and I rebuilt you stronger than anything they imagined. Now listen, my child, because this is the deepest revelation of all. They attacked your destiny because the enemy saw something in your future that even you have not seen yet. He saw the moment you will shift atmospheres. He saw the lives you will impact. He saw the chains you will break. He saw the healing you will carry. He saw the authority rising inside you. He saw the version of you that will stand on the mountain he tried to keep you from climbing. He saw the blessings attached to your obedience. He saw the promotion attached to your endurance. He saw the open heaven ahead of you. And he panicked. That's why the attack happened. Not because you are small, but because you are destined to grow beyond what they can handle. Not because you are weak, but because your strength is multiplying. Not because you are lost, but because your path is aligning. Not because you are forgotten, but because you are chosen. My child, the enemy tried to break you 15 minutes ago. But instead, he helped reveal your purpose. He tried to shame you. But instead, he exposed your anointing. He tried to silence your voice. But instead, he woke up your calling. He tried to destroy your destiny. But instead, he confirmed it. And now the final part begins. My child, something incredible is coming. Sudden peace. Sudden clarity. Sudden restoration. Sudden elevation. Sudden financial movement. Sudden emotional healing. Sudden opportunity. Sudden breakthrough. The chaos is ending. The spiritual storm is breaking. The attack is finished. The assignment is cancelled. The danger has passed. The season has turned. What was meant to bury you is becoming the very soil I will use to grow you. What was sent to harm your spirit will become the reason your testimony grows louder. What was designed to weaken you will be the proof that you were protected all along. My child, you are stepping into victory. Not a quiet victory. Not a delayed victory. Not a hidden victory. But a public, powerful, undeniable victory that even your enemies will witness. Walk forward. Lift your head. Steady your spirit. Strengthen your heart. The attack is over. The plan is destroyed. The danger is gone. The enemy is defeated. The angels are surrounding you. The heavens are backing you. And your destiny is beginning now. This is the final truth: you were targeted. But you are protected. You were attacked. But you are chosen. You were plotted against. But you are rising higher than ever before. Your story does not end in darkness. Your story ends in glory.